I go by many names: author, coach, CEO. But before I got these titles, long back, I was a small kid who wore black shoes and made my mother walk barefoot. She sacrificed and taught me the lessons of leadership when I was 7. But I'm not here to teach about leadership. I'm here to make you remember and prove to you through a story that you are already a leader. What if I tell you that the most powerful leader I have ever met never had any title, no corner office, she never heard about TEDx or the word leadership. She was a single mother, and she was my mother. Yet, she found a way to solve the problem for a neighbor who was short on school fees. So very early on, I realized leadership is not a frame on the wall, but it's a flame in the soul. Most of the time we are taught that leadership belongs to people who are decorated, who are loud, who have titles, and of course, corner offices. Today I want to change that belief through this presentation. I have always thought that leadership means showing up when nobody is expecting you. Just like a coach tells his player, you matter to the team. Just like a father who tells his son, try one more time. Or a mother who instills the moral compass in a child. Or a soldier who is guarding the post, standing firm on his feet, protecting everybody behind him. So, leadership doesn't come from titles. Leadership comes from being present to the situation. Let's do a small exercise. Let's close our eyes for 5 seconds. And can you remember a time when you showed up to someone when they were not expecting? When you told someone, it's okay to fail, there is another chance. When you told someone, this too shall pass. If you see great leaders in the history of mankind, like Mahatma Gandhi, he never passed any command to anybody. He told the story of freedom. Dr. Abdul Kalam, he never gave lecture on science. He told the story of dreams. Malala Yousafzai, she never campaigned. She lived a story of courage. But then, so all great leaders are not that lucky. They are so invisible, but their stories are unforgettable. They might not make it to history books, but they make you. One such story remained with me all my life, till now. When I was 7, the school sent me back because I didn't have shoes. The next day when I woke up, I found new black set of shoes right in front of me. I was so happy. I was jumping. I wore them and I walked happily to the school. But 3 days later, when I was walking with my mom to the market, I saw my mom was walking barefoot. So I asked, what happened to your slippers? She said, new slippers bite my feet. And anyway, walking barefoot is very healthy for the body. I bought that story, but years later I realized what she has done. She has sacrificed her slippers for my shoes. The love she had for me was heavier than the pain she endured. So I realized that day that leadership is putting your soul before strategy. But if we look at our ancient epic storytelling books like Mahabharata, Ramayana, Panchatantra, you'll notice that every value we hold today has come from one of those characters from those stories and not from titles. So when I realized this, I did a little bit of research and synthesize and analysis of all these stories, and I found a very common pattern across all the stories and a very clear structure in all those stories. And I took those patterns and structures and converted them into my own system. I created a framework. The framework has 4 mnemonics: track, ace, story, and evoke. Track means it helps you identify your nature of leadership style. Ace helps you, ACE helps you to frame your stories. What can be a story? And story helps you to put the rhythm and shape back into that story. And evoke helps you to make the story unforgettable. So from these frameworks, I have realized that leaders don't lead, they reflect. Leaders don't teach, they remind you. So leadership is not a keynote presentation or a PowerPoint slide with perfect timing, or a 5 pages book from a chapter in an MBA book. Leadership is about showing that you care for the other person. You tell the other person, I see you, I've been there, it's okay. So it gives the confidence to the other person that there is somebody who's going to guide me, just like my mother guided me. There are 3 key behaviors of this leadership. One is being present, 2 is empowerment, and 3 is transformation. I will not bore you with these 3 concepts, but I will give you 3 very short stories to make you understand what I mean by that. So story number 1, being present. She stood there watching the tsunami wiping her family out. In that moment, 2 children came running towards her and hugged her. Without a word, she buried her own world and became a shelter to somebody else's children. That is, this kind of leadership is being present to the situation. The second one is, the teacher stood behind the class while the student delivered the speech, and the whole class clapped for the student. But the teacher silently nodded her head, remembering that just a year back, student was not even able to say his name without stammering. That's empowerment. This kind of leadership doesn't seek spotlight. They shine through the people whom we uplift. Third one is transformation. A grandfather hugged his grandson, knowing that he never got that hug when he needed the most. This kind of leadership rewrites the story of pain so that the next one in the line doesn't go through the same thing. So tonight, when you go back home, tell your child your story. Tell your team your story. Tell that trembling self in the mirror your story, because this world does not need more strategies. This world needs your story. Because every story is a spark and you are the match. So inspire, impact, ignite, and remember, leadership is not a frame, it's a flame. Thank you very much.